Now on Nightside, a stabbing in a motel near Coeur d'Alene this evening. The man police have in custody.
And wet weather is on its way back to the inland northwest. We'll show you when it gets here.
The world's largest volcano is on the big island of Hawaii, and experts are warning residents that it could erupt any day now. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Spokane police are now releasing new body camera footage of an officer shooting and killing a man holding a young child.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Aaron Luna with Kirsten O'Connor. Police say that man was holding the child hostage at knife point. The body cam footage shown at SPD's briefing shows officers arriving on scene to a woman screaming for them to hurry. The woman identified herself as the mother of Peterson Camo, the man killed by police. In the video, she says he's going to kill the baby and himself. The officers responding to the incident gave statements to detectives stating they saw a knife in Camo's right hand, in the other hand, the child. They say they couldn't use a taser because Camo had doused the ground with a flammable liquid.
They make a decision based on when they think they need to act to protect that life. If, you know, this could have all changed if, depending on the conversation, if he lets the child, or even if he comes out just to where they can establish dialogue, to where they can see the child safe and they can see, you know, I would have been concerned if I was there that he's going to light that house on fire, because if a fire starts up there, we have no ability to get up the stairs.
County Prosecutor Larry Haskell is still in the process of finishing his review of this case. Police are still waiting on that. Bill Gilbert is the family's lawyer. He says no lawsuit has been filed yet. He says he's waiting for police policy and procedure experts to weigh in on any potential wrongdoing on the officers' parts. Breaking news out of Kootenai County tonight. Deputies responded to a call from a woman who said a man stabbed her near the Lake Drive Motel. That's in Coeur d'Alene. They say the suspect fled the scene before police arrived. Idaho police found 40-year-old Brandon White shortly after. White was arrested on aggravated battery. The sheriff's office is investigating what happened.
2 local homeless shelters are under new management. The Salvation Army will take over the Cannon Shelter and Trent Resource Center.
City Council approved this sudden change as local leaders are scrambling to clear Camp Hope as quickly as possible. The city says they can't trust the Guardians Foundation anymore. Police are also investigating a former Guardians employee accused of embezzling money. The city administrator now says they noticed numerous irregularities with the Guardians over the past few weeks, including no internal accounting systems and their expenditures not adding up. This organization's been contracted by the city before, and now council members are worried taxpayers' money hasn't been used to help the homeless.
So how do we know those charges are not also fraudulent charges?
So all the previous charges within the last 18 months are part of that audit and forensic review by our finance team and our team from CHHS. We are looking at all of those previous invoices over the last 18 months.
The Salvation Army will take over the contract and start running the shelters almost immediately. They plan to conduct some initial assessments, but don't plan to make any immediate changes to the operations. They'll also hope to instill more hope in the community in the work that they're doing to help the homeless. Right now, the wait list is 3 years long for low-income housing in Spokane County. If you qualify for low-income housing in Spokane County today, it wouldn't be until 2025 before you'd be able to move in.
After a global pandemic, a growing homeless population, and skyrocketing rents, that number has not changed in several years, and the community is in dire need of some relief. The cost of living is one of the main driving factors behind this. ApartmentFinder.com estimates that the average cost of a 2-bedroom apartment is over $1,300. These high prices, coupled with the lack of supply, is pricing people out, forcing some to turn to low-income housing options. And the director of the Low Income Housing Consortium tells us a normal wait period for low-income housing is roughly 3 months. To alleviate the situation, the county would have to double the living options they currently offer.
We have a need for about 7,000 apartments, low-income apartments in our community right now. About 7,000 or 8,000, so we need to double what we've produced.
And Stuckart also says there's a severe need to address this problem, and all the money the government and state can provide is a tremendous help.
The 17-year-old boy is looking at up to 10 years behind bars after being convicted of dealing fentanyl on school grounds in Post Falls, causing another student to overdose. Police say they had to revive an unconscious student at Post Falls High School, and that happened back in June, using Narcan. They say Randy Termoden was dealing fentanyl pills at school when his classmate overdosed. He was prosecuted as an adult earlier this month. He's now spending the next year in a treatment program. After that, a judge will assess whether to put him on probation or leave him in prison for the remaining 9 years of his sentence.
The NTSB is now issuing an urgent aviation safety recommendation following the deadly float plane crash last month in Mutiny Bay. Take a look at this. This is parts from the float plane that went down September 4th. Investigators say all float plane operators need to check the horizontal actuator lock ring to make sure it's securely clamped down to the barrel it's supposed to connect to. They say when they inspected the crashed plane's parts, they found that part came unscrewed and the pilot could no longer control the plane. The tragic crash killed 10 people, including the executive director of the Carl Maxey Center, Sandy Williams, and her partner, Pat Hicks, both of Spokane. NTSB investigators recovered most of the plane in the Puget Sound in the last couple of months. Well, we have had actually a really nice day, and I think we're
a little breezy out there, but not terrible.
Not bad at all. I think we're in for some more sunshine in between some rain.
And some more rain. Let's send it over to Matt Gray. He's in for Chris tonight. Matt, what are you looking at?
All right, yeah, lots of ups and downs here over the next 3 days or so. And for now, we are going to be looking at least a little bit of a down as we get into the morning and midday hours tomorrow. So we got another storm that's moving in. You can see over on the west side, it's getting a little busy out there. So far, it has not pushed across the mountains just yet, but we do expect that to happen as we head into the morning tomorrow. In the meantime, yeah, except for the cool breeze, which is making it feel a little chilly, we're actually expected to see mild temperatures tonight, and we certainly are right now. 45 in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene down to 40 up at the airport. It's going to be a little bit warmer than that in downtown for sure. So you are not going to have to turn up the heat too much tonight. We'll be down to the low 40s. Skies will gradually, gosh, geez, begin to cloud over through the overnight. And this is going to be a trend here as well. We've got some warmer days coming up. Our average lows are right about 33, 34 degrees. Well, we're going to be up into the mid 40s by the time we get to Halloween. So we're just going to hover in this above average zone here for a little bit. Part of the reason why is we got some warmer storm systems on the way, and they are going to bring us some wet weather along for the ride. We'll show you when the rain shows up tomorrow and when you can get a break from the wet weather this weekend.
Thank you, Matt. Well, 2 people are hurt, and state police are saying drugs or alcohol may have played a role in a crash in Ferry County. Washington State Police say the crash happened on Highway 395 south of Barstow Bridge near Kettle Falls around 1 o'clock this morning. They say a woman was going the wrong way when she hit another driver head on. And a photo released by WSP shows how bad the crash really was. Officers say both vehicles were totaled. The crash left both lanes blocked for several hours. They say the driver they arrested was not wearing her seatbelt and is now facing a vehicular assault charge.
Thanks to new legislation, felons in Washington will be able to vote this November. That's nearly 13,000 people. One of those people is Cyril Walrond, who was incarcerated at 17 years old and spent 17 years in prison. He was just released August 1st.
Very next day to register to vote and to vote in the primaries, really gave me a sense of connectivity within my community, where I realized that it's not about just talking and having all these different opinions, but really I'm making my voice and my vote count.
The Department of Corrections says it's trying to move away from treating people who have past convictions as outcasts forever. They say the ability to vote reduces the chance a criminal will reoffend and that people act positively in their communities when they feel included in them. Walrond is now working to get those who are currently in jail registered to vote. He has registered 91 people in Pierce County Jail so far.
Americans are heading to the polls just months after the Supreme Court ended the constitutional right to abortion. While the economy is a top issue for most voters, a recent ABC poll found 63% of Americans consider abortion access their priority. Since the ruling, at least 14 states have stopped nearly all abortion services.
I'm voting to have a choice in what happens to my body.
I am very, very much pro-life, and I'm so glad that it went back to the states.
In Georgia, a 6-week ban is in place, and in Kansas, voters overwhelmingly decided to protect the right to choose. It was the first day to give the public a chance to weigh in on abortion rights. Kentucky, California, Vermont, and Michigan are also expected to have abortion on the ballot. Some lawmakers want to take things even further by imposing a nationwide ban on certain abortions. President Biden is promising that Democrats will protect access to abortion under federal law if they win enough seats in November. But the party of the president usually loses seats in the midterms, so that will likely be a tall order for Democrats. Elon Musk called Tesla's autopilot feature, quote, probably better than a human driver.
But a criminal investigation of the company following several fatal crashes might tell another story.
Officials are telling residents about Hawaii's Big Island in preparation for a possible volcanic eruption.
And an emotional meeting today with parents and leaders from Uvalde, Texas, demanding the Texas Department of Public Safety director resign.
Mortgage rates are the highest they've been in 20 years. We'll look at why and what this means for you.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Everhart Painting.
I'm Tiffany Smiley, and I approve this message.
A 2-year-old overdosed on fentanyl she found in the park where she played. It's not just our cities. It's killing kids from Bellingham to Pullman because Patty Murray kept our borders open and defunded our police. Now, record rapes, carjacking, murders, and overdoses plague our communities, and victims have nowhere to turn. Who's to blame? Patty Murray. 30 years, and we are less safe.
It's like the Avengers have arrived.
I'm here to have some fun.
The buzziest late show on Hollywood Boulevard. Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Is there anything he won't brag about?
Is your home ready to make warm memories this holiday season? Call local family-owned Factory Rep Blinds. From Roman shades and screens to draperies and shutters, Factory Rep Blinds has every type of window treatment from all the major brands. Not only do they install at no extra charge, but they'll bring samples to you. Call for your free consultation at 509-327-9637. That's 509-327-9637. Call local family-owned Factory Rep Blinds. We do the work. You enjoy the results.
There's a clear choice for Senate. While Tiffany Smiley stood with Mitch McConnell and the big drug companies to oppose lowering the cost of prescription drugs, Patty Murray is busy working for us.
I worked with Democrats and Republicans to ban surprise medical bills, and I led the fight to pass legislation to lower the cost of prescription drugs, including capping insulin at $35 a month. I'm Patty Murray. I approve this message to focus on what really matters, you.
This time of year, conditions can change drastically in minutes. For weather that extreme, you need the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Team. Online, on the air, and on the app. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
4 News Now is brought to you by Culligan Water.
The electric vehicle company Tesla is under a criminal investigation.
Safety regulators are looking into whether Tesla falsely advertised its autopilot feature, making it seem like Teslas were completely self-driving cars, which led drivers to relax behind the wheel with deadly consequences. In 2016, Elon Musk described autopilot as, quote, probably better, end quote, than a human driver. And last week, Musk said Tesla is going to release an upgraded version, allowing customers to travel, quote, to the grocery store without you touching the wheel. A video currently on their website says the person in the driver's seat is only there for legal reasons.
I think, but I'm quite confident that within 3 years, the car will be able to take you from point to point, like basically from your driveway to work without you touching anything. You could be asleep the whole time and do so very safely.
But the crashes Teslas have been in while autopilot was engaged tell a different story. Last year, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration started looking into 16 crashes involving Teslas slamming into parked emergency vehicles. One of the crashes was deadly.
The world's largest volcano is on the Big Island of Hawaii, and experts are warning residents that it could erupt any day. A spike in earthquakes has scientists concerned there.
We have influx of magma into the reservoir, and the volcano starting to swell with the influx of magma. and it shows the volcano is inflating. And that then translated into us getting a little bit more concerned.
Officials are reminding people that lava could reach homes in just a few hours. Its neighboring volcano, Kilauea, erupted in 2018 and destroyed 700 homes. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says the volcano's been in a state of, quote, heightened unrest since last month, when earthquakes jumped from an average of 15 per day to 45 per day. And this volcano last erupted in 1984. Mortgage rates rose again this week, averaging 7.08% for the first time since 2002. It hurts to even say it. Mortgage rates have risen nearly every week since August and have more than doubled since the start of the year. The rapid rise is because of the federal government's attempt to tame soaring inflation by hiking interest rates, and the combination of the central bank's increasing rates, investor concerns of a recession, and mixed economic news has made mortgage rates increasingly volatile over the past few months.
Yeah, it's not fun out there. Not fun out there in the house buying, selling world. That is for sure. Hasn't been for a while around here. As we head into tonight, well, pretty mild. 40s around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And by the way, that is the downtown temperature in Coeur d'Alene, not out at the airport. Should get into the 30s there. 30s to the north and places like Bonners Ferry and Sandpoint. 30s on the Palouse as well, but almost everywhere else we're in the 40s. Now it is feeling a little bit chillier out there if you step out to let the dog out before you go to bed, because we do have a little bit of a stiff breeze, especially in the Spokane area out of the south. And one of the reasons why we're going to stay a little bit on the warm side tonight, along with cloud cover moving over, we'll continue to see blustery conditions right up until this next weather system comes by. And that is going to be in the early afternoon. We'll see some calming winds after that. Now, this is a pretty warm system. So if you have travel plans Friday, maybe you're heading out of the area for the weekend, there is some good news here. Snow levels are going to be way up there, over 6,000 feet. That takes all of our passes out of the game for snow and wintry driving conditions. So some good stuff there. All right, let's take you through your forecast radar, and you can see some of our northern counties getting a little bit of rain. Places like Republic, Colville, Chewelah, as we're getting up in the morning, headed off to work, might see a couple of showers. Now, for the metro, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, we'll see that rain move in as we head towards lunchtime. Then it'll taper off fairly quickly. We should be pretty much done by 2 o'clock. A couple of light showers around the Palouse, but as that rain fades away, it's likely going to be a little more than a sprinkle. Might even see a little bit of sunshine before the day is over. So some good stuff there, but more soggy conditions are on the way for the weekend. Coming up, I'll tell you when you'll have the best time to get outside.
Thanks, Matt. Uvalde parents are slamming the Texas Department of Public Safety, claiming the agency failed to keep families safe while a gunman opened fire at Robb Elementary School last spring.
At a meeting of the agency's oversight board, parents called on the director of DPS to resign. Jen Sullivan breaks down the emotional meeting and has reaction from the state as parents call for more transparency.
For these parents, their lives will never be the same.
In an emotional meeting Thursday, parents and leaders from Uvalde demanding the Texas Department of Public Safety director resign, claiming the agency failed families during the deadly school shooting this past spring.
You have disgraced the state, your position, and the people. The officers still under your supervision.
It was one of the deadliest school shootings in nearly a decade. 19 children and 2 teachers shot and killed at Robb Elementary May 24th.
I got shots fired.
Nearly 400 officers from DPS and other agencies responded, starting within minutes of the first gunshots. But security footage shows law enforcement waiting 77 minutes before entering the classrooms to find victims and kill the 18-year-old shooter, putting into question whether authorities could have done more to save the victims.
No help arrived. We will never know how many children could have been saved.
Calls for the director to step down at the agency's oversight board meeting Thursday were met with opposition.
DPS is an institution, okay, right now, did not fail the community.
Parents of victims say still so much is unknown, and they just want answers and closure.
We need transparency, and he could easily just release that body cam footage and let us decide, what actually happened.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
In America, we have a pressure from every quarter trying to destroy the opportunity for people to be able to build their own futures. We see an economy that has gone from the strongest economy that we have seen to one in which we have raging inflation. Our borders must be protected. We are seeing unprecedented entry, 2 million illegal entries, with the drugs and the violence that comes with it. I'm going to fight to make sure that we stop those problems. I'm Mike Crapo, and I approve this message.
Spokane's hottest music.
Break me for so done with you, girl. I've been popping, man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
They keep us safe, put their lives on the line every day. Yet radicals want to defund the police and give criminals get-out-of-jail-free cards. That's the last thing we need. Law enforcement has a champion, Kathy McMorris Rogers. Kathy says no to defunding the police and voted to secure more funding for local police departments. Endorsed by police and sheriffs, Kathy backs the blue, and they back her.
I'm Kathy McMorris Rogers, and I approve this message.
Celebrate 25 years of magical memories at Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Make your holiday bright with a stay at your favorite hotel on the lake.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota.
Well, health experts keep warning us about the potential surge in cases of the flu, COVID, and other respiratory viruses like RSV. But new numbers show interest in getting the latest COVID booster is down. 2 new studies show the updated booster works as well against variants BA4 and BA5, suggesting our bodies are well trained now to fight against the original virus. Health experts say additional shots mostly reinforce that response.
The new vaccines keep up. I suspect that there may be another vaccine next fall, but we're getting into a tempo where for a majority of people, it's going to be a once-a-year updated vaccine.
According to a new study released earlier this month, if more people in the U.S. get their COVID booster by the end of the year, about 90,000 deaths could be prevented this fall and winter.
A very brief window tomorrow where we'll see some wet weather. Otherwise, actually it looks like another pretty decent day. Definitely going to be a little cloudier than what we saw this afternoon, but I still think we got a decent chance to see a little bit of sun. Ooh. Just shocked myself there on the monitor before the day is over. 50s again, second day in a row. We got a good string of 50s here that we're stringing together. And hey, you know, that's where our average should be this time of the year. It seems that we have had either very warm or very chilly, so it's nice to be right in the middle for once. 54 for a high in Spokane on Friday, 53 in Coeur d'Alene, 60s around many parts of the Columbia Basin, and low 50s as you work your way into the Silver Valley, and 40s in Bonners Ferry. Here's your weekend. Pretty nice day on Saturday. A few spots could see a couple sprinkles. I'll show you that in a minute. Sunday, especially as we head into the afternoon, things get a little bit squirrely. We're talking about windy weather across many areas, especially across eastern Washington. And we start to see that rain coming in, and by Sunday evening, it is going to be pretty wet out there. So let's fast forward on the future cast. Let's get to Saturday afternoon. We've had some of the other computer model runs popping up, at least 1 or 2 little showers here around the LC Valley and Camas Prairie area. This latest update does not have that, but hey, you know, we talk about the averages. We can't just rely on one computer to tell us what's going on, right? So as we head into Sunday morning, a couple little mountain sprinkles, but most of the wet weather is over on the other side. It hasn't crossed the mountains yet. As we get into the afternoon, oh boy, there we go. And here is Sunday night. That's when we expect the rain to really start to crank up, and it'll be going through most of Monday. So here's your extended outlook. Definitely a good time to enjoy your Saturday. As we head into Sunday, well, that's when things get start going downhill. We do think there will be some small breaks in here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Hopefully one of those small breaks is right around trick-or-treat time. Got to give it a couple more days just because we're talking about maybe a 1-2 hour window in the forecast before we can get that precise. Now, keep an eye on next week, folks, because you can see here, I put the mixed precipitation on here, right? And so that is, oh boy, it's not going to be, I don't want to think about it too much. Just know it's going to be chillier next week. That could mean that things, well, could get a little iffy around here. Definitely for the passes and our higher elevations. We'll see what happens down lower. And that leads us to our pick of the night tonight. So thank you to Madison Hughes. We finally are seeing some of the colors come out in Riverfront Park and enjoying some sun after the rain this past week. Maddie, thank you for sending this in. What a beautiful shot. It's a wonderful time of year here.
It is beautiful. That is great, Madison. Thank you. Well, if you need some last-minute spooky decor or props for your Halloween costume, Petunia and Loomis has the stuff you're looking for. In fact, they'll have it even after Halloween is over. The Oddity store in downtown Spokane is known for selling strange and unusual items every day of the year. Things like animal bones, antique trinkets, tarot cards, and much more. Store manager Jesse McCauley says he and his fiancée Samantha have collected some of these bizarre items for over 15 years.
Every day you come in, you're going to find something new, and it takes a couple laps around the store to really see everything, and even then you're still going to miss something.
McCauley says the community has embraced the store since it opened at the beginning of the year, but there have definitely been more curious customers this spooky season. You can shop at Petunia and Loomis every day through Halloween. We'll be right back after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Empire Eye.
Anytime someone grabs a knife and stabs somebody to death with it, it is very personal.
The body found Tuesday night is that of former State Senator Linda Collins Smith. Who could have done this and why?
Linda was murdered by someone she knew. Is this the killer?
All the times you spend saying, look, all that stuff on TV, it doesn't happen. Except in this case.
The new 2020 premieres Friday night on ABC.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a matching air conditioner with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free AC from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
September 7th was horrible.
All hell broke loose.
80% of the town lost their homes.
My family's home burned to the ground. It was just heartbreaking. Kathy was there for us.
Not taking political sides.
She's done a lot.
Put her name on the line to help here.
Kathy helped us start the journey to rebuilding.
She went above and beyond. She genuinely, actually cares.
I'm Kathy McMorris-Rogers, and I approve this message.
Every year, the crowds go crazy for the Cal Triple Play of the Day, where you can get tricked-out cool trucks or sporty SUVs just in time for winter. And this week, you can delay all games until next year. Get a minimum $2,000 trade-in value for your old ride, plus get a 2-year service maintenance program with every vehicle sold, which is a triple play opportunity this week at all 3 Cal locations.
Washington State football returned to the field tonight with big-time matchups against number 4 Utah. They lost against the Utes.
4 News Now sports director Julian Minensone and Alex Crescenti join us live from Martin Stadium tonight.
Yeah, another disappointing loss here in Martin Stadium. Another top 25 matchup for the Cougs, and it just doesn't go their way. They lose 21-17. They had their opportunities to take this game, but the story coming out of this one, yet again, it's the offense, Julian.
Yeah, it's clear that Washington State's missing 2 of their best targets, Renard Bell and Nakia Watson. Head coach Jake Dickert talked about it after the game. He said they just got to do better. There's a lot of work to do.
You know,
Offensively, we're just not doing anything well to lean our hat on right now, and it's not been able to run the ball. Obviously, Jalen was missing there in the second half. Negative plays, not being able to take it down the field, turnover once on a fourth down. There's just a lot of things that we need to look in the mirror and try to figure out what we can do well, and we got to lean on that. And right now it's just inefficient play and not being able to keep the chains moving and ultimately get ahead of a really good team. But give credit to Utah. Give credit to a lot of these defenses we're playing. I think these are good defenses too. So I think it's a little bit of everything.
So the Cougs now have 4 games remaining left on the regular season. They're going to have Stanford in Palo Alto next weekend. And we were talking a little bit earlier, all 4 of these games, very winnable, but they're also very losable here. Is 2 wins bowl eligibility? Can they get there and get to a bowl for continuing that streak that they've had going for a while here? But it's going to be an uphill battle, especially with these injuries and the way that offense has looked. Not going to be easy.
Yeah, not going to be easy at all, but there is a chance, especially against those Arizona schools. And, of course, the Apple Cup, which can go either way, as
right.
you see.
Download the 4 News Now app today. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
We actually have a new service that we're providing with video banking. We're here to really help them and connect on a way that other institutions really can't.
Hi, I'm Chris with Clark's Tire and Automotive. Right now is the best time to get your vehicle in to get it checked over. Come on in for a free winter inspection. We're going to check your brakes, shocks, struts, tires, air filter, wiper blades, and your heating and cooling system to make sure you're winter ready. If you can't make it into one of our shops, give us a call. We now have a mobile service. We offer a 2-year, 24,000-mile parts and labor warranty. We support our local law enforcement, our schools, our nurses and doctors, and we're here to support you. Come and try us out. We are a friendly neighborhood service repair center.
The more I learn about Tiffany Smiley, the more worried I get.
Tiffany Smiley has said that it would be awesome to have Donald Trump support. Donald Trump is far from awesome.
She questioned the integrity of the 2020 election.
Come on. Smiley promised Mitch McConnell that she would flip control of the Senate to him.
They could rig the courts with more extreme judges. She could give Mitch McConnell the power to pass a nationwide abortion ban.
That's horrible.
The more you learn about Tiffany Smiley, the worse it gets.
Women voters responsible for the content of this advertising.
Right now, before rates go up, get what you really want. The coolest cars, the most powerful trucks, and the hottest SUVs. Get the max for your money during the Time to Buy event. 0 down, 0 payments till next year. 0 cost max lifetime warranty. 1.9% interest. And get this, $4,000 over KBB for your trade. Plus, get a $250 gas card with purchase. Right now, the Time to Buy event. Hurry in, 7 days only. It all ends Tuesday night. Only at Max Auto Sports.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
All right, on this National Black Cat Day, I have to say that because I have a black cat.
Yes.
So got to say that. Got to shout out Pete here in the weather.
Oh, Pete.
And yeah, pretty nice looking day for Saturday. Friday evening looking good as well. As we get into Sunday night, though, that's when things start to take a bit of a turn. So we probably need to have the raincoats and the umbrellas ready for Halloween fun.
I got my umbrella in the mail today. Set.
Finally.
Thanks.
In the mail.
I ordered one online.
Okay.
Take a look at this. It's a nose-picking primate.
Ew.
And it's made, I swear, I don't know if this is real or not. The study was published in the Journal of Zoology calling its booger-eating habit groundbreaking. The rare lemur species is also called an aye-aye, and it has just been added to the list of 12 species known to eat their own boogers.
I can't look at that.
The study says boogers are actually a valuable source of food for the aye-aye.
No.
Aye-aye-aye. What is that?
How far is it back there, man?
My good Lord.
What is happening?
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
That's enough to scare you on Halloween.
Warning, this video may be disturbing.